It's time for some headlines, Pickle, across the state of Texas. Let's start with the biggest headline. The biggest headline is, hey, it's football season.
Correct.
Did you know that? Sorry, I didn't mean to go out of order. It's football season. The 2023 Texas high school football season kicked off this morning at midnight. There were programs across the state who were celebrating Midnight Madness, which is where so the UIL says that you cannot start practice until July 31st. That's today. That's the this year's date. It's a moving target, but it's X number of weeks before.
They usually try to start it on a Monday. That's why
Monday.
It just fell that way.
So, July 31st. And so a number of programs across the state said, why wait? So there were a number of programs out there that were out there.
I think there are some programs holding off until tomorrow on August 1st. I could be wrong about that. I thought I saw some of them.
Wouldn't be surprised. But some of them got going at midnight last night. I saw Corpus Christi Miller got going last night at midnight. I know that Happy got going at midnight last night. Our friend Cale Steed was out there at Happy's practice in the middle of the night. So exciting times. Today is the first day. If you did not do spring ball, you get your extra day of fall camp this year. And so that is what's going on with these programs. So exciting times. Football season's here. We made it. I know it doesn't feel like because it's July. And everything, by the way, is because everything's shifted forward. This is the earliest I think it's ever been in the modern era.
Which rules, because that means that the state championships are like a week earlier than what they usually do, which rules.
Because my wife and I were planning out, we were talking about holidays this weekend, and we were looking at it, we're like, oh, wow, like we have a full week between the end of state championships and Christmas.
Yeah, and then for me, the Cotton Bowl is before like all the New Year's stuff, so it'll be like, great. Man, this calendar,
good calendar,
exceptional.
Good calendar.
We should do this every year.
Happy Texas high school football season. Okay, now we'll go back to the other Chiron. So there was some news last week that Colorado is going to rejoin, is the only way to phrase it, the Big 12. Now, you may remember that the first real smattering of realignment came back in the late part of the last decade. Specifically, when you take a look at with Colorado, this was a program that who is calling me during the show? Don't call me during the show. Colorado and Nebraska both left in 2011. Colorado went off to the Pac-12. Nebraska went off to the Big Ten. Colorado has been in the Pac-12 ever since. There has been some extra turmoil while they have been gone. For example, 2 more schools, Mizzou and A&M left. 2 more schools, Oklahoma and Texas, announced their intention to depart next year. And they've added 6 other teams in that span. TCU, West by God, Virginia, Houston, Cincinnati, UCF, and BYU. So the way that the Big 12 is going to shake out this year is that they have this big 14-team Big 12, right? But then Texas and Oklahoma are going to leave. And look, we're back to the Big 12. Amazing. We did it.
I was going to say, this is a clear-cut sign that if any other football conferences come up, let's quit putting numbers to them, please.
Stop.
Like, no more numbered conferences.
Literally none of the conferences have their number right now.
None of them.
So Colorado announced last week that they will be leaving the Pac-12 and joining the Big Ten. I'm sorry, the Big 12. Now, this comes on the heels of the Pac-12's own existential crisis. You may remember that 2 of their high-profile programs, USC, which is pretty much by far the most valuable property in the Pac-12, and UCLA, announced that they will be joining the Big Ten starting next year. Now, Colorado is going to be joining the Pac-12 or the Big 12, which is leaving the Pac-12 as it stands right now for next year at 9 teams. A lot of this, and I don't want to speculate, but a lot of this seems to come down to the Pac-12's dragging their feet on a TV rights deal.
Yep.
So you have to flash back. And a lot of this does have to do with the Big 12, because I think the Big 12 kind of set the pace on this. The Big 12 when Brent Yormark, the new
Cool hip commissioner.
the Poochie of commissioners, when he took over the Big 12, one of the things he did was he said, all right, we are going to tear up our current TV contract, and we're going to go to market now. We're going to go to market, and we're going to renegotiate a new TV deal right now, basically. By doing that, they didn't have to do that for like 6 more years or like 4 more years. But by doing that, they jumped in front of line of the Pac-12, who was going to be the next team due for their deal, right? They got their deal. I think ESPN and Fox did their deal. The Pac-12 is like, okay, well, now we're going to go negotiate our deal. And for the last, like, really and truly year, we've been hearing the deal's coming, the deal's coming, the deal's coming, the deal's coming, the deal's coming. We've heard ESPN's involved. We've heard CBS is involved. We've heard, they're going to go to a streaming network. They're going to go to Amazon, right? We've heard they're going to go to the Apple TV. We heard the CW was going to get some games, right? And yet, right now, as we sit right now, July 31st, they do not have a new TV deal. I believe this is the last year of their deal. I believe it expires after the 2023-24 season. And so, as a result, I think what you're seeing from Colorado is fundamentally a vote of no confidence in the Pac-12. That you have seen their 2 high-dollar, high-visibility programs in USC and UCLA already bolt. And they have not been proactive in adding teams. And now they don't have a TV deal? And I think they're looking around saying, why would we stay in what appears to be a dying conference? Why don't we get out? Why don't we beat the posse, so to speak? And so now Colorado will be joining the Big 12. We'll leave the Big 12 after Texas and Oklahoma depart and Colorado joins. That will leave the Big 12 with 13 teams, which makes me crazy. I would propose to you this, and this is only, I would only categorize this as informed speculation. I would be pretty surprised if they started 2024 with an odd number of teams. I'd be pretty surprised. Because that means you're going to have to rotate buys. That means you're going to have to do a lot of different things. There's a lot of weird things that come along whenever you don't have an even number of teams in your conference. I would keep an eye on the Arizona schools. I would keep an eye on Utah. I would not be surprised if the Big 12 wasn't done shopping. So there you go. We have a piece up on TexasFootball.com, by the way. This also means that Deion Sanders is going to be a coach in the Big 12. And that we will have at some point Sonny Dykes versus Deion Sanders. And that this TCU-Colorado game in the opener suddenly becomes a little more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I would keep an eye on there. I wonder if there's another move coming. And as for the Pac-12, Pac-9, they're in dire straits because there's also a lot of rumors that Oregon and Washington are looking for the exits. So it's going to be this could trigger another mini round at least of conference realignment. We have a piece up on TexasFootball.com. Our own Mike Craven talked with a number of assistant coaches or a number of coaches across the Big 12 and just asked them what they thought about Colorado joining. And it's very interesting. The Cliff's Notes version is that they are not scared. Mm-hmm. But we'll get into that whenever we get there. But Colorado will be joining the Big 12 once again. Maybe Mizzou will move back to the Big 12.
No one needs that.
Mizzou needs that.
Yeah.
Finally, Pickle, talk about some news that you broke to me because I didn't see this. Did you know, Pickle? You're a North Texas alum, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You're a proud North Texas alum.
Mm-hmm.
Are you not? You're not going to do it?
Call.
Thank you. Jeez. What are you even here for if you're not going to call?
Yeah, fair.
North Texas has been playing in their stadium, their beautiful stadium, right there on 35, since 2011 when it opened as Apogee Stadium. Mm-hmm. Apogee Stadium there at North Texas. I've made no bones about it. I love Apogee Stadium.
It rules.
I think it is I haven't been to every G5 stadium. I think it is the ideal G5 stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect size, easy to access, really cool. Still feels modern. 10 years later, like 12 years later, right?
Yeah.
Still feels modern. It's been Apogee Stadium ever since they signed a 20-year deal with Apogee back, which is a software company.
Yeah, Wi-Fi.
Like a Wi-Fi company in Austin, based in Austin. However, Apogee Stadium is no more. Tear it down.
No.
The signs, I mean. Because they have a new sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the TCU.
Say it correctly.
DATCU, which is a credit union, will be, what's it stand for? I need to look this up. What does DATCU say? Denton Area Teachers Credit Union. DATCU will be the new title sponsor of North Texas Stadium. It'll be DATCU Stadium. I will get this wrong 40 times a season. You'll get it wrong a bunch too.
Yeah.
DATCU Stadium will be the new name of North Texas Stadium. Now, Pickle.
No.
They follow in the footsteps of the University of Houston.
Mm-hmm.
University of Houston plays
TDECU.
in Touchdown East Carolina Stadium. TDECU. And now they will play, the TCU Stadium will be home to the North Texas Mean Green. You're not laughing. I don't know why you're not laughing.
Because it's a great fit. Why
it is a great fit.
Why have a naming partner that is not or is based 250 miles south?
I totally agree.
And when you could support teachers. I'm sorry. Do you not support teachers?
I love this partnership. It's great. I also
text your wife and say, "Hey."
I also reserve the right to giggle because I'm a child.
Well,
okay?
Yes, we all know that.
That's what I'm saying. Anyway,
it is rather unfortunate.
Adjust your the note you have in your phone with all the FBS stadiums in Texas. That it's no longer Apogee Stadium. It's DATCU Stadium.
Yeah, that's gonna take me so long to get used to.
If you get it right at one point, like naturally, without thinking about it, in the year 2023, I will be impressed.
Yeah, I don't think that happens.
We'll
be real honest.
Honestly, it's kind of like the Rangers ballpark, the old Rangers ballpark.
But it's still Globe Life.
It's yes.
So that helps.
But what I'm saying is the old the ballpark in Arlington was what I grew up calling it, right? And it changed names a bunch. It was AmeriQuest Field at some point. It was it's now Choctaw Stadium. It was Globe Life Field. It was Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. I always just called it the ballpark.
Yeah.
It
is funny because that's kind of the difference between like a stadium that's named after a company rather than a stadium that's named after like a legendary great, like Darrell K. Royal, DKR is always going to be DKR.
Absolutely.
And Joe Jamal Field is always going to be Joe Jamal Field. Like that, I love that because it doesn't change. It means something to the university.
Kyle Field ain't going anywhere.
Kyle Field is not going anywhere.
No.
And it's like those kind of things, like you love it because you know it's never going to change. It's hard when there's actual naming right sponsors.
Here's what I think is going to happen. Pickle, what is the name of the 110-story building in Chicago?
It used to be the Sears Tower. Now it's the Willis Tower.
It's the Sears Tower. It's just like forever. I'm sorry.
See, but it's funny because I wasn't super familiar with that until we went, and it was already the Willis Tower. So I always refer to it in my brain as the Willis Tower.
So by the way, 2009 they changed the stadium, or they changed the name. Mm-hmm. So it's been Willis Tower 14 years. First time I've ever called it that just now.
No, yeah.
So I wonder if you, from your perspective, as somebody who calls that's your second home up there, I wonder
it'll always be Apogee in my heart.
Apogee, whatever,
Yeah, I guarantee you in like the text messages with our whole entire friend group who goes out to the games, it's going to be, what time are y'all getting to Apogee?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anyway, there's some headlines.
Congratulations to DATCU.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.